Hey. Good evening. First of all, I'm curious, has anyone among you been to Sherlocked? 2 people, fantastic. That's great, and we have some room to conquer. I would first like to start saying that I was born here, I was born in Amsterdam. And then I moved away rather quickly to Haarlem, which is just around the corner, but it's not no Amsterdam. So I'm also good to know I really hated high school. So I was studying in Haarlem, and every day I would go to Amsterdam because I loved it so much more. And being here, so for 10 years now, it's really been a fulfillment of that desire to escape from the high school Haarlem city and live here. And having been here for 10 years, always been an entrepreneur. The cool thing is that you start to know people and you start to know your places, the stuff you like to do, and you really start to develop a love for the city. And this Sherlocked is my 4th company in Amsterdam, my 4th company in total, but also in Amsterdam. And recently, 2-3 weeks ago, a friend of mine, Linke Raben, produced together with Kim and her company 60 Seconds a beautiful map of all worthwhile things in Amsterdam. And when I saw it, my heart sank a little bit, because I have 2 companies here. One's a tattoo shop for objects in the Hallen, which Margot wrote really wonderfully about, and we still get traffic every day from your blog post. And yeah, it's really nice, thank you. And so we burn designs into objects like leather saddles and wooden iPhone cases and MacBooks. Actually, I'll show you mine. One fascination of mine a while ago was like what would happen if you take apart what would happen if you take apart a screen and cut it out with a laser cutter and try to replace the Apple. 25 destroyed MacBooks later, you find that it's doable. It just costs a lot of money. So it's a very niche product, and because we couldn't really build a company on one product, we created a whole store around it. I don't think I have time for that story, but it was fun to do. That was my first company that actually had a space in Amsterdam where people could walk into, which I found was a really cool thing, because then you belong, then you have something, then you have your own shop, literally. And when I heard about this map coming out, my heart sank a little bit, because I wanted to have lobbied to get Sherlocked, which is my current company, and the tattoo shop for objects on there. And so I phoned my friend, who's a friend of the person making it, saying like, why didn't you tell me that she was making this? Because I wanted Sherlocked and Uncover on there. And she said, dude, take a look. And we don't have a much better picture, but this was the highlight of my month, was to see that Sherlocked and Uncover Lab, the tattoo shop for objects, were on that. And then I felt like a proper Amsterdammer. Yeah, thank you. I was really happy about that. Like, how do you say, bevestiging? Oh. But I came here to talk to you about Sherlocked. Sherlocked, in short, is part of a trend towards the experience economy. That's the biggest part of the thing we're a part of. People are, desiring more experiences, more than materialistic things, stuff that you can buy. Actually, people are turning towards experiencing things. And I, for one, have always lived as adventurously as possible within the realm of comfort. I am not an extremely adventurous person, but I'm slightly criminal mind. So I was always, slightly. I was always on rooftops, and my highlight of 2011 was being arrested for trying to install a 40-meter high banner on the palace, the damn palace here. That was awesome. They got dogs and everything. It was fantastic. We made a banner of red satin, and we wrote in big Banksy letters, Happy New Year on it, because it was on the 30th of December, and we wanted to make it like a present, so a gift-wrapped damn palace. And we got all the way up there. We're still in scaffolding at the time, and we mounted everything, and then we cut the rope from the banner scroll, and it went all the way down, which is a wonderful sound. But then it turned out we'd inversed the banner, and it read Ipavenrai, and then 7 police vans started moving, and dogs, they're coming with dogs. It was really scary, and they took it extra seriously because they thought it wasn't some kind of Arab creed, but really it was Happy New Year, inside out. Yeah, so I'm not the brightest criminal mind, but I love doing these kinds of adventures. And then in 2012 I encountered something that facilitated that to a slight degree in London. When I was there and I wanted to do something with a girl I had a crush on, and this sounded like something that would be really activating. It was called an escape room. Has anyone done an escape room that's not Sherlocked? Also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Damn it! You want those ratios to be, okay, well, they can't be the other way around because Sherlock is an escape room. But anyway, cool. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Nice.
Really cool. Yeah.
Why?
It's a really fun experience. It's like teaming up and trying to make sense of all the clues, and yeah,
Cool.
It's a fun game, actually.
Nice, yeah, that sounds familiar. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
In short, an escape room is a game where you are entered into a world of a story. Most of the time it's 1 hour, and most of the time you're locked in as a group. So say you're a group of 5 people, you're locked into a mystery that you get 1 hour to escape from, and the escape usually involves puzzles and challenges and the solving of a mystery. And it was in London in 2012 where I first encountered this. And there were the first 2 things I thought were, this is incredible because I've never been inside a movie like this, and I've never been in one of the acting parties, one of the parties that actually gets to decide whether a mystery is solved or not. That really hit the chord with my slightly criminal, slightly cinematically living persona. And the other thought I had was that this is not as cool as it could be. This could be so much better. This because it was a very basic mystery murder story. You had to solve the mystery of who had killed the person whose line was lying on the floor, and the story was not as important as I wanted it to be. So I really wanted to do something with that, but I was just starting the tattoo shop project, so I didn't have time. And in all honesty, Sherlock could have started a year earlier if I had then decided, okay, I want to do that. But I didn't, so it went away. And it took a whole year before one of my dear friends, Tristan, went to Cape Town, and he came back with a spark in his eyes, and he said, Victor, there's something that you would love. And I haven't done it, but I've seen a flyer, just a folder, and I think it's something that would be absolutely amazing to do in Amsterdam, and it's called an escape room. And I was like, I know it. Yeah, I wanted to do it, and I didn't have time back then, and to be honest, still don't, but this keeps coming back, and that's the moment where I thought, okay, we should explore this, we should give this a shot. And that's something I learned throughout the years, also with my 2 companies that came before. It's never a good time to start something, because you're always, if you have a personality, if you're a person who likes to start things, you're always busy, you're always doing stuff. But sometimes something so cool comes along that you have to, give in. And what I've learned throughout the years is then to pay enough attention winding down or transferring responsibilities with the things you're already doing to not let everything fall in the water. So the first time that happened, it was the end of the company I was working on. The second time, it took a long time to transfer responsibilities, but this time it only took a year, and I'm really proud to say that the Tattoo Shop Project is really thriving. It's setting up in Edinburgh, it's going to London soon, and it's not because of me, which is also sad, but I'm also very proud of that. It's a whole team led by a very good guy called Seam, who's actually managing that entire project now, and I just get to cycle in every Monday to help and say, well, maybe think of this, have you thought of that? And that's really a place where I love to be, because I'm an idea person, but I'm not a very good executioner. I'm not someone you would want to ask to do stuff. Because I'll start it, but the chance of me finishing it is very, very small, bit due to other things also being started in the meantime. So I've learned that about myself. I'm curious, does anyone recognize that, or am I very lonely there. Oh, nice, nice. Oh, well, I appreciate your candor. It's not an easy thing to admit. Oh, I've been completely ignoring this beautiful screen behind me. Mm. And all the slides. But it's okay, because all the slides next to, beyond it. This is our team. This is our team of makers, people who host the experiences that we make there. And anyway, where I left off the story was, this can be done better. And Tristan and me and his best friend Micah started thinking of what would be an amazing place and what would be an amazing story to share with people. And while we were actually coming back from a failed meeting, because there is a space, I don't know if you know this, but on track 13B in the central station of Amsterdam, there is an amazing little house on iron poles. And it used to be the place where the conductors and the people arranging all the tracks would arrange the tracks, but it hasn't been used since the 70s, since the automated train system got started. And so this house is just waiting there, and we thought, wow, that'd be amazing to take over someday. But to be honest, they said it needed 300,000 euros in maintenance and repairs before it would even be safe to go there, and so we were very disappointed, and we walked away from the station feeling this like, oh, if we had that kind of money, we definitely wouldn't be spending it on maintenance of some space to make it even accessible. So we were walking away from the station, and then this big building called the Beurs van Berlage appeared in our faces. It's really, you can't miss it. It's like a village with bricks around it. It's like the size of 3 damn squares. And turns out I remembered a friend of a friend had asked me if I'd wanted to move the tattoo shop projects there. And we'd looked at the spaces, but we couldn't find the right match, and that was half a year earlier. And now this, actually, the nice thing to say is that they only had like basement space, which was really awful for a shop because you need the footfall. But a basement is fantastic for a mystery. And so we walked in and said, well, we have the solution for your basement. Mm-hmm. And so within half an hour time, we got this very disappointing rejection from the central station, and a really amazing offer from the Beurs van Berlage, who said, well, I really haven't been able to rent this space for a year now. Please do something, and you won't have to pay rent until you make money, and then we just get a percentage of your turnover. And so we felt so welcomed by that we went for that. And this is also, if you ever want to start a business or actually a bricks and mortars business, it's really helpful if you partner with the people you're renting from. And generally with any kind of endeavor you do, try to partner with as many of the people you're dealing with, because we had so much wind in our sails just because the people who were renting from really wanted us to succeed, because that meant financial value for them. That was one of the biggest lessons from Sherlocked, is to always to prefer a partnership over a straight money deal. And tomorrow, actually, in a few hours, I'm flying to London to try to convince another person on the same deal. But I'll talk about that in a second. Just to show a little bit of the kind of stuff we make. Oh, this is a tiny detail from not our first experience, but our second one. So, bigger detail, don't want to show too much. Bigger detail, don't want to show too much. Okay, this is what I was talking about. A year ago, in Hatton Gardens, in the jewellery district of London, this happened. Over the Easter weekend, 3 guys rappelled down. Yeah, you can see it. Broke in the lift shaft, rappelled down, and spent the weekend breaking through a 2-meter thick wall. That's not the one, the ones after that. And because it was the Easter weekend, no one was there, and they could take their jolly good time to rob the place of £22 million worth of jewellery. And that was all over the news. It was an incredible story. And of course, the safe deposit company went bankrupt because they were literally robbed. And that was a painful story, but on the other hand, that sparked something with me, thinking, wow, there's an amazing space for it. And it took a year, before the whole curators and the bankruptcy stuff got taken care of. But tomorrow morning I'm meeting with the new owner of this space to talk about creating London's first immersive heist experience.